this is why I like this bike. It's actually a very, very light bike. Okay, we're on there good enough. I've gotten her pretty dusty commuting to work and back. This should pop off. Hey, look at that. Yep, there's one bolt for the seat. Well, it's a day of working in the shop. I'm excited for what I'm going to do today. We're going to take this little XR150 I bought and see if we can't open it up a little bit. Just a couple little mods we're going to do in this video. See if it helps give me just a little more power. Honestly, I'm happy with the power of this guy right now for my commute to work. I don't really need any more, but I like to tinker. So we're going to tinker. Somebody left the battery tender on this. Huh. Well, how about that? If I just had the rest of it, I wonder if that would work with these clothes. And these are all pretty much the same style. Oh, look at that. It plugs in. Well, I know what I can do with it come winter time now. Just use my trickle charger. So basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna open up the airbox a little bit. I want to get rid of all this emissions garbage, this air injection system. We're gonna just get rid of it because it's not needed and it's absolute garbage. It hurts performance. Well, the main thing it does is it causes all that backfiring and popping you can hear when you decelerate with an air injection system. Now the stock exhaust is quiet, so that really doesn't bother me now. However, one of the mods we're gonna do today, look at this. Nice, shiny new exhaust system. A full exhaust system with a nice open muffler. A two-seat bolt. Okay, just had to slide her back a little bit. This would be where the manual was, but I don't have a manual. So that air injection system combined with that better flowing exhaust means you're probably really going to hear the popping that you'll have on acceleration with an air injection system. So that's why we're going to get rid of it. And because we're getting a little better air in and out of our engine, we are going to up our carburetor main jet a little bit. I have some jets over here on the shelf. I'm probably going to go with a 110. I know I have a 110 jet. I'm not sure if I have a 115. It seems to be the go-to is a 110 or 115. I know I have a 110 we can throw in there. If I have a 115, we may throw that in there and see how it does, but we'll go from there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get the seat off, get this panel off, and I don't know, it's probably easier for me just to go ahead and take the whole gas tank off to get to the air injection system. Now this is what we're after right here as far as the air box is concerned. It's got this little bit of a snorkel, which cuts it down a good bit. And I guess you can just grab her and growl and pull her off. So there is that open compared to those three little holes. And that's really all you need to do. Now there is a mesh screen behind the air filter that people's removing them too. But again, I'm only going up to a 110 jet from a 105. In the carburetor, so I think we'll leave that for time being. It's just pretty much like basically a backfire stop. Okay, now as far as the tank is concerned, okay, do this right now before I forget. Fuel is off. Fuel line, spill fuel all over the place, of course. See if maybe we'll get lucky. Attached anywhere else. Alright, I don't have that bike on the stand very well. That's why I like this bike. You can pretty much just pick it up. It's so small and lightweight. Alright, Mr. Tank. Okay, I see what's going on. Do have a couple little ones there. The plastic's bolted to the little supports here that our reflectors are on. we can get away with doing that. Then I won't lose all my gas. But you see we got a line here on the back of our tank that runs down into this little canister down here. And it runs back up to our carb. I just wonder if that's like a return line, or is that acting as our vent line? I bet you that's acting as our fuel tank vent line. But we can get to all our air injection stuff here. So we will have to plug this off and plug the line off over there, but everything else can come off. This whole little setup here can come off, and this whole solenoid over here on this side can come off. So we'll probably just take this off here, cap it, leave that little pipe on there. Otherwise we'll have to come up with some kind of little plug for in there, which we don't really need to mess with. And we got nice easy access to our carb right here. You might not even have to take this clear off. I get the exhaust off, loosen our clamps. We might just be able to spin this enough to get in there to get the main jet swapped off. It's really nice working on a bike this new, because everything comes off so nice and easy. You don't have to fight anything. Just like that, stock exhaust is off. That is probably plenty if I can get in there with a screwdriver. Should take this throttle cable loose. I don't want to pull on it too much. There we go. Alright, so I did end up having a 115 as well, so I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and go with here, because we are doing the full exhaust with a bigger diameter pipe, and I don't want to lean her out too much by doing that. Sure, the 110 would probably help and be great. Probably be a nice boost with a stock exhaust, but since we're going with a different full exhaust system, let's throw the 115 in there and see how she does. Okay. All in all, that was pretty simple and easy. This, just need to undo that clamp. Just clamp off. That can stay together. That'll come out of there once we unbolt it from there. It's tens. Then on the other side, we have the one line that runs from our solenoid into the little nipple coming off our intake mount. So with this off and that off, that is all we should have to plug off. All right, so we got the air injection system removed. There was only just really 2 bolts on this side to take it off. So now all we gotta do is run to probably good old Harvey Freight, get a rubber end cap for on that tube and for on our intake horn here. And then we can slap the exhaust on. So I'll catch back up with you guys when I get back from town. All right, thanks to good old Harvey Freight, I got some plugs for some rubber end caps more. So I got that side capped. Would have preferred black, but colors is what they had, is what I got. And this one here on the little carburetor. Intake horn is plugged, and that is all we should have to do for the air injection. Now this exhaust is not model specific. This is for a XR150. From what I've heard, it's pretty much a bolt-on. It's going to require some minor modifications to it. So let's see what all we need to do. Okay, so the header piece here should pretty much be a bolt on, so we can go ahead, and get it on here and loosely secure it with the stock nuts. And then we've got to grab the second piece and fish it through. I'm not sure this does have a place here. It looks like it's going to be pretty close to lining up. Okay, I'm liking it so far. Now it does look like this is going to have to be sticking up here a good little bit for things to line up. I'm not sure on that. I'd like to tuck it down a little closer. I can live with that. That's not too bad. Should be enough we can get this started. It is a little crooked, so it's not a perfect match. But if I can get this to start without cross-threading, we're gonna be golden. And I think we got her started. Sweet. Oh yeah. She's in. Okay. I do believe the muffler is what people were thinking. I thought there was a spring with this kit. There's gotta be. Am I missing something? Okay, so this is where we have to do a little bit of modification because it does not line up with the stock mounting hole there, but it is going to line up close enough to this rack bolt that we can probably go through there. Because I want to make this video helpful for those that want to do this exact same thing, yeah, I could weld up a bracket here, but not everyone has access to a welder or can weld. So I'm going to do this so you guys can copy it if you're a XR150 owner. We've got enough play that with this rack bolt out, we can push this up to where I think if we just take and notch this hole up like this, we'll be able to get that bolt through the rack and be able to hold everything right there, nice and neat. So that's what I'm going to do. So there, as you can see, I just notched the hole, really just drilled. I mean, this is aluminum, so it's easy to work with. So I just drilled another hole right up above where this should be pretty close to lining up. And then there is enough play in this with a little bit of shimmying and shaking. I think we can get it. I have to go up a little bit more with it. Oh, if it wasn't for this, I wonder if I use the spacer here that came with it. Ooh, maybe that's the ticket. That might be the ticket. I think that's gonna go. Let's get the washer on there before I do that. We're through. So yeah, put the nut on the back side. I think that's gonna be perfect. I like it. That ain't going nowhere. Rack's back secured. Very, very good. I guess all that's left to do now is tighten up our header bolts and see how this guy sounds. Am I too close? I feel like I'm too close. All right, so there it is, all in place. We've got good clearance around everything. It is a little tight here to the airbox. It's pretty close. It's not touching, but it's close. So we'll just keep an eye on it. If we have to, we'll just add some header wrap to that portion. It does stick out there a lot farther than stock. I don't know if I'm crazy about the look of that. And I don't know how this would work if you had, instead of the factory skid plate, one of the bigger bash bars on the front of this. might not work. Now the moment of the truth, let's hear what this sounds like. And I did record both the stock exhaust and the stock exhaust with the spark arrestor removed for comparison. So play those two clips and then play with this exhaust on. Stock exhaust is really quiet. Doesn't sound bad, but doesn't sound the best. It's a good bit louder, a lot deeper. But there is a little tinginess to it. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. That I'm hoping the aftermarket exhaust will get rid of. And with the full exhaust. I like it. Good and deep, but it's still not overly loud. With the helmet on, it's not going to seem loud at all. Excellent. Very happy with that sound. Alright, I guess the only thing left to do now is to get my helmet, take this thing on a test drive, and see if the few little mods we did gave us any better hill pulling power. Alrighty, we're going to take a little ride on the XR150. Now that we've got the exhaust on, I'm curious as to how loud it's going to be cruising. And with all the mods we've done today, I am curious if we're going to have better hill pulling power. So I probably put a little over 300 miles on this thing since I bought it. So I got a pretty good feel for the power and how it was stock. Again, we ended up going with the 115 jet. Took the snorkel off the airbox and put the whole new exhaust on. Now going up this hill before that we'll go here to the left and right up the steep hill. I can't remember if it's third gear or fourth gear. I think fourth gear wide open I could hold around 50, but I might have been clear down into third. So we'll see how it does now. This is an awful place to pull out on a bike. It's awful in a car. rid of the tinginess of just taking the spark arrestor baffle out. Which again, it wasn't bad. If you're on a budget, don't want to spend exhaust, it's not too bad. It just sounds much deeper and cleaner with a full exhaust. And again, getting the full exhaust got me a larger diameter tube all around. So there's definitely the benefits from that. The way it sticks out there like that. I'm not sure I'm too thrilled about that. So I guess it is one downside to not having a model specific exhaust. $100 for that entire system off of Amazon. So I will leave a link in my description below for that. That'll take you right to the exact one I got on. You saw all the more we had to do to modify it to get it to fit. It's pretty easy and simple. I do use my affiliate links. So every time you buy something from one of my Amazon links, 150. Let me know what mods you've done to it. Be interested to hear. And I gotta add this too, if you guys have not ever or even considered riding a dual sport or doing some street motorcycling, if you enjoy riding ATVs and side-by-sides, I'm guessing you'd probably enjoy riding something like this little dual sport as well. So don't be afraid, whether you're 20 or 40 like me, you're never too old to get into the sport. That goes the same for any kind of hobby. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on riding. I like it. AMR approved. Oh, forgot I had a bag on there.